Good afternoon. I want to cover off townhomes in Barrie between 600,000 and 700,000, and I want to go through 4 or 5 areas. A few areas that I would kind of stay away from that I'll cover off, and a few areas that I would really endorse. So let's begin. I'm going to screen share my screen with you folks to kind of go over some areas. I'm going to go through a few things on the listing and jump over to street views as well. Jump over to Realtor, because Realtor.ca has got some great tools that I don't think a lot of people are really digging into. So I want to walk through that a bit. That will help you get you guys some ideas and talk about schools and different detached properties, income levels per area. So let's begin. So first area they're going to talk to, I'm not going to cover all these listings. I cover 5 or 6, and I got myself a note to go through to make it real easy for me, because I will be jumping all over the place if I don't. So first one I want to go over is 359 Dunsmore Lane. This is located in the north end of Barrie. A lot of investors go up there. It's close to the college, close to Royal Victoria Hospital, quick access to 400. It's a high density area for rentals, tons of students, tons of these townhomes that have 4 or 5 bedrooms in they're renting it out. Some even have 6. So I'm not saying students are bad, but if someone's looking for a family area, I wouldn't go there. So listed 615, 10 days in the market, 3 bedrooms up, 2 bathrooms, a 4-piece on the second level, a 3-piece on the basement. Let me just see if they're holding off on offers. 24 hours irrevocability, and it's vacant. See how it looks. What I find about the north end is I find that it's a little bit more cheaper than the south end of Barrie, which I really endorse quite a bit. It's close to, public transportation, better schools, better parks, lots of shopping, lots of restaurants. So I prefer that area more than the north end. And mainly the north end is just, I just don't like it so much. I find there's too many investment properties up there. But this isn't badly priced. It's pretty clean considering, it's possibly at one time could have been a rental, but you kind of tell it's been cleaned up a lot. Baseboards are nice and clean, nice and white, decent flooring, decent color tones. So they clean it up, which I give them kudos for, because I've been in so many that they're not cleaning them up. These are virtually staged. Got a basement down there. It has 3-piece bath. Not bad, but I just don't love the area. So I'm going to jump over to Street View a little bit. And I just picked Dunsmore just to give you an idea of some of the area. This isn't the listing, but I'm going to give you it is a listing. So I'm going to go to Street View. My fault. So here's Dunsmore Lane. I'm going to walk you through the areas, talk a little bit about this type of properties. There's a lot of townhomes in this area, filled with them. I used to own a property in this area around the corner as an investment property. I only bought one because I just felt that it's going to be growing with, noise disturbances, in which there is up there. You see them on the news all the time. This is a main artery. I think this is, let me just double check what this street is. Yeah, this goes on to Larkin. Larkin kind of goes out that way, but I'm going to spin us back around for Dunsmore. But you can kind of see tons and tons of rentals. It's not a family neighborhood is what I'm saying. Come on, keep going. There we go. So let's go back down Dunsmore to give you a double check. So a lot of side streets that go off here as well. It's kind of slow here. Give me 1 minute. There we go. It's a bit better. Why am I back up? It doesn't matter. We'll stay in Larkin anyway. And so Larkin kind of goes into some towns, and then it goes into some detached properties as well. But I want to go back. I apologize for this. Let's go back. Because Dunsmore is a massive street. Let's see if this is, yeah, here we go to Dunsmore. There we go. Again, tons of townhomes, okay? So values are cheaper, as I mentioned. I'm surprised there's not much, garbage and filled with blue boxes with beer bottles, because it's run by tons of investors, as I mentioned. Come on. Then it goes into Quinlan. So Quinlan kind of just goes into Dunsmore. Again, you see the same style of homes in there. You also got some condos further down here as well. Just, again, don't love the area. Enough about Dunsmore. Let's go into, I want to go to Realtor on that to kind of give you folks an idea of what I'm talking about. Let me just move this over here. I don't need to go through stuff. So I kind of want to go through a few things on here that is important. A lot of people should be looking at this. So right now I'm on the stats thing. That's always an above Realtor. So you got highlights, neighborhood, and then you got mortgage calculator. So let's go through the stats. It gives us a local demographic of the community. So single detached, there's 51% in that area. Semi-detached, there's 6.8. 12% duplexes. That's a high number for that area. There's lots of upper and lower suites that are legalized and lots that are not legalized. And 29.4% row townhouses. There's a few apartment buildings in there, 1 to 4 floors. There's maybe 3 or 4 in the area. It's a small area. Here's the thing that you should be looking for when you're looking into a certain area or neighborhood. To me, this is really important. This is telling me that 34% of that local demographic are renters in that area, mainly student dominated in that area. 66% are owners. If I go over to population, zero to 4, 5.8%, 5 to 9, 4%. Look at over here, 20 to 34, 30, call it 34%. 35 to 49, 19.9%, 1%. 50 to 64, 19.3% students. Okay, this is what you got to look at. This is really important when you're looking at an area. Okay. Anything else? No, I don't want to go on that. Let's go to, we went through housing. Let's just go through 61% single family, 0.9% multifamily, single persons 20%, multi-persons 18%. Education. So this gives an area of a breakdown of the demographic that is, has extensive education. 18% didn't graduate from high school. High school is 32.5%. A trade certificate's 3%. College certificates 30.3%, and it goes down. Languages. Predominantly English, 77.2%. And then it lists all the other languages that within that area. So predominantly English. Another good tool to look at is income levels. Average income level per family in that area is 112,500. Individual is 42.9. Folks, I can't stress this enough. This is great information that I think all home buyers should be really looking at to familiarize themselves with neighborhoods. Let's go back into the street view. We did Realtor. I want to go back to show some other properties. So you got my view on the north end. I don't love it, and you know why. Burns Circle. It's Letitia Heights area. This area has a bad rap, and it has a bad rap for many, many years. I've seen over the last 10 to 15 years in that area, lots of younger people have moved in with their families, started a family there, and really changed the neighborhood dynamics there to pride of ownership. I don't mind there. It's an older area. It's got some stigmas like, oh, stay away from Letitia Heights. It's an older area, higher density, income levels are a bit lower than, say, the south end. Property values are a little bit lower as well, but let's take a look at Burns Circle. We won't spend a lot of time, but we'll still go through some of the street views to give you an idea of areas and neighborhoods, and that's the whole idea behind this video. So 639,900, 13 days on market. This is a tenanted property. I want to check one thing to see if it's been listed before. Leased out. So bought it back in February 7th, 2022 for $718. Now we're at $639. This is normal. The peak was then. Let's take a look at the pictures. Okay, so we know right now it's tenanted. So This is what I hate when I go visit these properties. So when you're looking at there, if they're tenanted and the pictures look like this, these pictures are from it when it was vacant. You're not going to walk into that. I'm sorry to say you're going to get sabotaged. I had it happen to me 2 weeks ago. We walked in and we walked out within 6 seconds. It was a bomb. So keep that in mind. Tenanted properties, they are risky. You've heard me talk about how long it is to the backlog of the LTB, Landlord Tenant Board. Over 53,000 cases that have been unresolved. It's taking several months. So it's a concern when you're going after a tenanted property. What I would make sure I would be doing, and I did an offer up this morning, and it is a tenanted property. I put in the clause, this property is subject to vacant possession. The successful closing of this property is subject to vacant possession. And then I put a date in there saying, if by, say, July, we agree to extend the closing date by 60 days. If at that time the tenant is still occupying the properties, at that time that the buyer has the option of basically walking away from the deal and deposit is returned full without deduction. You don't want to close on a property and become a landlord. This has happened many times and it's still happening today. Yeah, the tenant's leaving, and you don't do your final walkthrough. And I'm noticing a ton in the last 5 to 10 years, even with Toronto agents coming up here, or the town agents coming up here, and they're not doing their final walkthroughs. I'm telling you right now, you've got to demand a final walkthrough. You need to know what's going on. You need to detect if there's any issues with the property. Maybe the appliances aren't working. Maybe the rug's all ripped up, or maybe the doors are all smashed. You need to do a final walkthrough. Make sure your agent does that. Let's carry on through these pictures. They're never going to sell this property to tenant. I'm telling you right now, it's not going to happen. The other one I want to go through. Oh, you know what? Let's go back over and give you an idea of the area. I should put a number in there. Let me just go back. That was 17 Burn Circle. And folks, when you're at home and you're looking at a realtor and you want to find out Street View, do this. This is a great tool, and you should be using it. It will give you an idea of what's going on in the street, type of properties. It gives you so much information. And just spin around. Again, you're going to see the area is an older area. Okay, you're 40, 45. So Burnt Circle goes all the way around here, and okay, let's just go this way. Again, we know that the homes in this area are a little bit cheaper than the south end that I'm promoting quite a bit, but it gives you an idea. You can tell by a lot by doing the street view. You can even Google Earth it, but I kind of like the street view to walk around and kind of see who my neighbors are. Okay, one positive I see, you got long driveways. Okay, what I'm seeing a lot in townhomes, doesn't matter what area, you're seeing the driveways are so small, you're seeing sidewalks on them, can fit one vehicle, and then you're seeing all in the summer months, there's rows and rows of cars. You got a family, you got young kids out there, I don't know, it's kind of dangerous. I've seen it many, many times. So just keep that in mind. Sidewalk here, so you can see this is consistent. But one positive, you could probably get 2 vehicles, or you probably get a little car over there. If you park in front of blocking the sidewalk, I'm telling you right now, bylaw officers scour areas all the time, and they love ticketing in Barrie. So I hope this gives you a bit of an idea of a little bit about Burn Circle. And again, this is Google Maps, Street View, easy to access, easy to use. You can kind of see, I keep going forever. So let's go over to Realtor and pull that up as well. I'm going to change that to 17 Burn Circle. And just to get you an idea of what's going on in Burn Circle for demographics, etc. We're not looking at the pictures. We're going to get rid of that. Move myself over here. Neighborhood. It will tell you too. We'll go to education. 9 daycares. We're not going to go through these, but they kind of, if daycares are concerned, then hey, is there any daycares in my area? Pretty great tool to look into. Transportation. 8.6 for driving, 7.3 for cycling, 3.9 for walking, and 2 for transit. Amenities, shopping 5.3. This location, walking distance to shops 5.3. And it kind of just lists some of the shops and restaurants. Again, great tool. Let's go to education. Schools, I've done Andrew Hunter. We've done a video and we posted yesterday about schools in the Barrie, and we have a few more videos to make to cover off, but Andrew Hunter doesn't have the best reputation based on, again, when I say that, it's based on grade 3 and grade 6 testing. It fell below the standard. So that's another thing to keep looking at. If that's important, do some research on that. Watch my video on that. It tells you lots of good things, but it gives you all the other schools. But there's a map. The Simcoe County School Board will give you a map and exactly say what school that you say you live on Burn Circle. This is your school that you will be going to. Another important thing. Let's go to this one. Education, transfer, amenities, character. Stats. Household income, 50,000, family, 121. 0 to 4, 5.2%. I'm not going to keep going through all these. We can see it, but again, another great tool. 20 to 34. Remember I mentioned previously going in this area. It's a young demographic that's been living in that area. I'm telling you right now, they've done a fantastic job of really bringing up the area standard in a sense. I've showed up there many times throughout the year and I'm seeing good things. I've also looked on, we do a lot of videos on the Barrie crime map. This is another tool. So you can go to Barrie, you can go to Police Services Barrie, and there's a crime map where you can go in by neighborhood and see what's going on in a particular area. You can go back 30 and 60 days and they have lots of things you can put in there. It tells you what's going on. I'm telling you right now, this area has low compared to some other areas that you'd be very surprised in. So you can kind of see it dominated by an older, younger demographic. Education, I won't go through. You get the idea of what's going on here. And again, the housing, 75% is single detached, 70 detached, 3.7 duplex. So you can see some rentals in the area. In row housing is 11.1%. Let's go back to realtor. My board, sorry. Get rid of this. Other one I want to go on is Frank's Way. I like Frank's Way. It's an area that's off of Burton, maybe 6, 7 years old. I love the location. This is a little pocket in there. I like it. It's close to the waterfront, quick access. Listed at $689. Original price was $728. 3 bedrooms up, 2-piece on the main, a 4-piece on the upper. Owner occupied, 0 to 5 years old. Doesn't give me the exact average square footage, but I really like the area. I do. Nothing wrong with the area. I like the floor plan already. It seemed, again, keep in mind, these lenses make it look bigger sometimes. So you get there, sometimes you go, oh my God, it looks so big in the pictures. But that's a big sectional. So that's a decent sized living area. Small in the kitchen, but that's fine. Not a big, this is all decked. So this is an issue where this would be great for a young professional, a young couple. You got no backyard, you got deck here, and then you kind of see all the retaining walls in there. That's the only problem with Frank's Way. Sometimes some of these backing on that side have that issue. Let's go over to I'll just get the number again off Frank's Way, 97. Sidewalk, so you can get one vehicle. You're going to see some parking on this side for sure. So let's go down this way. Here's a part of Frank's Way over here. Let me just spin me around a little bit more. No, I want to go back the other way. Sorry. Well, we'll go this way. Doesn't matter. They're mainly townhomes in this area, but it's a nice little area. There's not a lot of densities, not a lot of different side streets. It's a quiet little pocket. That's what I like about it. And there's a lot of different floor plans as well. Some are tight, some have good, some have decent sized backyards. Definitely an area of choice for me that I really like. So it just goes basically in a circle. But you kind of see fairly new townhomes, middle-aged demographic, kids for sure. And you can see some different styles as well. So Frank's Way just keeps going around here and around the bend. And what I like, I've sold some on this side over here. Along this side where they got some good sized backyards. Up here is Burton Avenue. You go down there, you go in ESSA, and you're at the waterfront in 3 seconds. Let's go to Realtor, put this in. 97 Frank's Way. Let's get this out of the way. Let's just double check this. 9.4 for driving, 5.4 for cycling, walking 4.5, and transit 4.2. You got lots of transit. You're pretty close. You're in a real central location there. I love the location. Let's go education. I want to see the school too. This location, at least one school within a 20-minute walk. Unity Christian High School, private. Innisfil Secondary School, and Moving Art, private. Primary schools, Anisac, St. John. Again, I'm not 100% sure what school will fit in that. Allendale Heights Public School. You're going to have to, again, go on the websites and see it. Refer to my videos on one we posted, as I mentioned, 3 worst schools. I think it was worst school in Barrie. Will tell you some of the schools and how to navigate those parameters to get an idea of what school that street is. What school am I going to? Let's go amenities. No, we already did that. Okay, no. Education. No, we need to go through that. Stats. Average income. So you can kind of see a couple areas we've done now and how income levels are different from other areas in the community, which is a normal thing. 54,000, 124,000 family combined. Again, they're giving the area, but in that pocket, I'm telling you right now, it's mainly row houses. There's not a lot of detached. They're giving you the geographical area. It's not a ton, 2.7% for rentals. There's going to be a few in that area. There normally are in those type of housing. You're going to see them. It's so important. That's why I'm kind of showing you these tools so you can kind of take a look, do street views, get an idea what the neighborhood is like. Owners 63%, 36.3% renters. Let's go back to Realtor. Pickett. Pickett's not a bad area. It's South Painswick. A lot of density in there. A lot of rentals as well. You're close to schools, Big Bay Point, quick access to 400. I don't mind the area. I'm not a big fan of the area. If there's a single family or young professional, there's better areas than that area. I'm going to be very upfront with that. 660, 3 days in the market, 3 bedrooms up, 1 down, a 4-piece on the second level, 2-piece on the ground level, and a 4-piece on the basement. Property is vacant. This is virtually staged. I mean, I'm like what I'm seeing. I like the floor plan. And what else I want to talk about too is in older townhomes, you're going to get some better floor plans. We're going to come to a few listings on Fairlane that are very tight. I'm going to talk about that area. Sometimes it's hard to find that great floor plan. This isn't a bad floor plan at all. Like this home shows pretty decent. They've done some updates. All these appliances are new. Got some quartz on there. Like I really like what they've done. Love the staircase. This range, this 6 to 7 range for townhomes, 95% of them are holding off on offers and they're going fast. What will change that as we progress into May and June and April too? There should be more product coming available. And we saw it last year. We saw a little, in the beginning from, February, people see some buyers coming out. March, they're kind of all gung ho, and then more product comes out. So right now prices are strong. I'm not going to say they're going to sustain like that. Let the market decide if they're going to sustain, but I'm seeing in the low price ranges for these type of properties, they're moving quick. And I also see it in the lower ranges for condos as well. 5 and under, I'm telling you, it's going like that. Very, very quick. I'm pretty impressed with the presentation of this property. I am. And I don't say that easily. I'm a big critic at times. No, hats off to the seller and agent. Well presented. Let's see if they're holding off on offers. Lots 19 by 114, decent size. 24 hours. Review date March 30th at 6 p.m. Seller reserves the right to preempted offers, so they are holding up. I mean, they got a nice looking home. This shouldn't be going over 7, just because of the area. I do like what they got in there. Just not the biggest fan of the area. And let's give you guys a little bit of a drive through. It's 148 Pickett. It's big street. Crescent. Let's go the other way because it's probably going to go better this way. There we go. A lot of townhomes. There's a fairly big subdivision in this area. You're getting a mix of properties, some detached bungalows, some side splits, and some 2-stories. Pickett's mainly what we're seeing right now, semi-detached and townhomes. You're going to see some parking in the winter months, so wait till the summer months. This is a common thing with some of these driveways. One positive, it's they're fairly long in some areas. This is an old area, so it shouldn't be that bad. But newer areas, I'm telling you, there's rows of them. You kind of see, but you can kind of see the age of the area by navigating the street view. And it's important. You can keep going and going and going for streets on here to get an idea of the neighborhood. Let's go over to Realtor and put that in for some information. I'm not going to do this for everyone. I kind of want to jump over to some other areas too, because I'm sure people are getting bored of me going through the same stuff. But we know how to navigate that now, folks. 148 pick. Okay. 148. Why is it giving it to me? Let's try it again. Okay. So let's do this one more time. Again, we won't go through this stuff again. You can kind of see transportation, driving. Most of Barrie you need a car, I find. But this transit system is decent. Lots of schools in this area. Willow Landing's just right across the road from Big Bay Point Road. You got, what other ones we got? We got another one across the road, a Catholic as well. Warnica, Mapleview Heights, Mapleview Elementary, but again, you have to look to see exactly which street matches the school zones. But there's lots of schools in the area. Stats: 51,000 individual, family combined is 128. Single detached, semi-detached 1%, duplex 6.3%, in row houses 16%. So again, geographically, it's a fairly big area. 20% renters, 80% homeowners. Let's go back to realtor. Let's go to another area that I want to go through. I like Cunningham. It's an older area. It's out of Bluffs area. Got some great schools over that area as well. This one's $699, 10 days on the market, 3 bedrooms up, 3 bathrooms, 2-piece in the main, 2 4-pieces on the second level, probably one in the ensuite. Age 16 to 30. This is probably about 18 to 20. It's a big town on 15 to 2,000 square feet. Offers any time, 48-hour revocability. I'm not seeing a lot of townhomes in the 7s yet on older areas, depending on the size of the unit. This is a fairly big unit. It's got some size. Again, these bigger townhomes are hard to find. I don't love the kitchen. I find it small, tight in here, but it's got some size. There's lots of amenities in there. Out of Bluffs, you've got some great walking trails, quick access to 400, recreational centers. It's a really, really good area. It's above the garage. What I like is that you got a lot of different family options and a lot of different rooms that are big. It's a big bedroom. They make $699. It's got some size, so I wouldn't be surprised. Like, it shows okay. It needs some datedness in some areas, but it's big. They got a nice, decent sized backyard. This is up off the kitchen, off the living area. Nobody behind. That's a beauty. They might get that price point. Let's go to. Oh, no. Okay. This is Fairline. I'm going to do the walkthrough for there because I don't love this area. It's a new area. It's right off of Yonge Street, Yonge and Mapleview. Tons of rentals in there. Okay. The floor plans suck. There's just no other way to say it. They suck. Per dom, I see so many listings for rent in there. $698, 24 days on market. I know if I put address history, I know when I'm going to probably already see terminated $675. So that was back in August. No luck on that. 60 days in the market. People, I'm telling you right now, people just stay away from tenant properties. Make sure you do your due diligence if you fall in love with one, because you don't want to get burnt. So let's take a quick look at these pictures, and I'll talk about the floor plan. It's tight. This makes it look big. I'm telling you right now, it's not. It's not at all. This is not a lot of living space for a family. Kitchen's not bad. I've seen worse in there. So I'm going to give it an okay for a kitchen size. This room looks big. It's not. We'll go through the measurements when we're done. Everything's new and fresh, but I'm not. I like the location. I'm just not a fan of the density in there. It's just they're on top of each other. Go through some measurements to really tell you about it. Okay, this is not your backyard. Trust me, not even close. Backyard's 19, 20 by 86 or 87. We're going to call it. This is probably 1,100 square feet. So the primary bedroom, 11 by 10, second bedroom 10 by 8, third bedroom 9 by 9 or 10 by 9, family room 9.3 by 8. Those pictures make it look big. They're not. I am going to jump over into the street view because I want to talk about it a little bit more. This one is 100 Fairlane. You'll see what I mean. That area is still under construction. They're going to pave these driveways, I'm sure. Some of them I was showing them the other day. You can see there's rows and rows and rows of them. This is why I personally don't like a big cluster of homes like that, especially the same types. I don't want some subdivisions over on Brown Bear area. There's a good mix. You got some towns, you got some detached, you got some condos in there. It's a good demographic and a good mix. Here, it's all towns and semis. And this is a concern you need to think about. I'm telling you, there is tons of rentals in here. Tons. And I have concerns about that if I'm bringing a family or even a young couple there. I show there, but I mainly show to say, hey, I'll show you an area for newness, but I'm not going to recommend it. And sometimes it's on their list and they want to see it. But after I communicate how I feel about the area, they usually take the advice. Like, you haven't seen any different types of property. It's the same thing. This is a big street. It goes on and on. Yes, it's on Yonge Street and you have some, quick access to highways and shopping and stuff like that. Stay away from it. I'm telling you right now. And there's so much building going on. We'll see what street this is. Turnberry. So you can see the open fields. Like there's tons. Now we're going into Country Lane, but I'm going to spin us around and go back. But here's a shot on Yonge Street. Like they go. So enough of that. Let's go to Realtor to see what kind of information we can see on it. It may not be up. It's such a new area. I'm more on some stats. Individual income 52,000, 132 family. I tell you right now, there's not a ton of families there. They're going to get some for sure, but it's a dominant area by investors because they bought those back 3 or 4 years ago at best. Got completed maybe 2.5 years ago. Tons of leases. Maybe what I'll do is I'll go back near the end of the video if you got time to show you what I mean by that. Population 20 to 34 is pretty high, 35 to 49, 20%. So that 20 to 65 is a big part of it. And yeah, you got some kids in there for sure, but I don't know. It's just not the area. I'm telling you right now. I want to go see housing part. 17% renters is more than that. I can tell you that right now. Single detached, again, they're giving us a broader area. You saw by the street view, it's row houses and semi-detached. There's no duplexes in that pocket. Education, we don't need to go through it. More of there's schools by in that area. There's two high schools. A new one on Mapleview that just opened up last year, and St. Pete's, and there's a Catholic school as well, public. I mean, not public, but grade 1 to 8. And the public school is going to be on Big Bay Point, and I forget the name of it. Let's go back to Realtor. I think there's one more I want to show on it. Why isn't this going? There we go. I know which one I want it to go. I like Beatrice. There's Beatrice I want to go through. I won't go through all the other stuff with it. You kind of get the idea. I like this area. It's off of Prince William Way. It's a nice street, 719, 25 days in market. There was a price change. Started off at 749. It's too high. Even this I'm going to question. 1,100 square feet to 15, 16 to 30. See how it looks. If I'm seeing a townhome listed in the 7s, it's got to be big or it's got to be really updated and new. Like this seems okay. It's not that big, right? It's kind of choppy. This is not a big kitchen. I don't like the layout. Like the street. The home's in good shape. I'm just not a big fan of the layout. So I can see why it has the soul. I can tell you right now the price. It's not a 7 in my books. So you kind of see, again, there's shopping, Catholic schools in here. There's lots of parks. Not 719. There's one more I want to show. Oh, Red Maple. I like this area. The reason why I like it is the townhomes are big. As you can see, 1,500 to 2,000 square feet. You don't have a lot of backyard space in there. I sold one last year. I love the layout. This is not an 8. I've seen some solds in there, 760 to 770. 70 days on the market. That's a lot. That's a long time for a townhome. We started off at 829. It's too much. I more want to show this for the layout. You got size. So someone looking at a unit this big, family of 4 could, live comfortably there. You got space. You're not on top of each other. It's a fairly new area, 3 to 4, and they're still building over there. But you can see the size and in the different feel and openness of the floor plan. Like, it's a great floor plan. The bedrooms were a decent size as well. Some of them have a den. I'm not sure if this one does, where when you kind of walk the lower level and there's a den. So again, like a basement kind of thing. There's no basements kind of saying. There's 3 levels, but there's not a lot of, it's more upper level living than lower level living. Like you can see, nice bathroom, double sink, separate soaker tub, separate shower. Like it's nice, but it's not an 8. It's a high 7s. It ain't an 8. And the market's telling you that. You see things on the board that have been listed for 2 or 3 weeks and go, why isn't that selling? There's a reason why. It's price, especially in this range. That 6 to 7 range, I'm telling you, is on fire. There's the dent again. It looks bigger. You're kind of on top of each other in a way, but anything new, you're seeing that. I like this area. I really do. It's off of Mapleview. I've sold in there. I love the area, and I love the floor plans. Any questions on this video, give me a call. I'd be happy to answer anyone's questions. Like the content, give it a like, give it a share, give a follow for more information. We cover off a lot of things. And I put out there last week, hey, you know what? We're asking the viewers if there's certain things that you want covered off or have questions on, put it in a comment. We cover off, and I'll send you an individual video. Usually I post it for everybody, but I'll let you know that, hey, I've posted that video on the topic that you wanted me to cover off. So have a great weekend.